Greetings again, citizens of YouTube. I apologize for the background noise when I make this video. A friend of mine is playing Halo. You may recognize him from some of my other videos. He is my resident Jew. He's having a fun time without me. But I'd like to tackle some of the responses I've been getting on some of my newer videos. I like all the responses I've been getting. I appreciate the people who take the time to actually watch my video. For those of you that don't take the time to watch my video and just slapped on the "there's no such thing as evolutionist" tag, I guess thank you for taking the time to comment on the video. I really wish you guys would rate the video based on its production value or what I have to say, other than the fact that you just flat out disagree with me for reasons I can't begin to understand. First off, I'd like to tackle the this comment I've been getting a lot that says there's no such thing as an evolutionist. I assume you mean biologist or scientist. According to dictionary.com, an evolutionist is anyone who believes in the theory of evolution, especially people who believe in biological evolution. I wasn't aware that there were literally other forms of evolution. I have heard of chemical evolution and planetary evolution and things like that, and I don't think that those qualify as evolution. But, you know, if that's their name, then might as well call it that. But whatever. So, for those of you who are ridiculously ignorant of the fact that evolutionist is a term for someone who believes that the theory of evolution is true, I apologize for your ignorance. Please educate yourselves. Second, I'd like to tackle a few things that some people have been saying, like mostly just ad hominems attacks. Creationist and dumbass are the two words that mean the same thing. People calling me ignorant and things like that. But there are a few in particular that I'd like to tackle. First off, and this will definitely be in a later video. The 5 causes of evolution, according to some other people that I've been speaking with: natural selection, genetic drift, mutation, gene flow, and non-random mating. And I will discuss all of those in depth in a later video. I apologize for not doing so now. But another one is, this one's from Captain Ordinary, and I liked this one. Excuse me. If you accept that a specific mutation makes it more likely for an individual to survive and reproduce, then you must accept that in evolutionary terms that mutation is beneficial or positive. Shut up. Sorry. That the term is beneficial is defined as such, so that the two statement "it's beneficial" and "an individual with it is more likely to survive and reproduce" are interchangeable. I understand that. That's not what I'm arguing at all, and I think if more people watch more of the videos, they would understand that I kind of laid the groundwork for that earlier, and then I kind of just didn't bother to mention that later because the groundwork had been laid. So I apologize if you didn't watch those videos and don't know. That's just ignorance. If you have watched the videos before and you still don't know, then you're stupid, and I can't help you. But I appreciate the comment, and I thank you for bringing up this topic. What I'm saying is that all these evolutionary terms, beneficial, and like the 5 causes and things like that, I'm attacking them individually on a lot of specific bases, because what I constantly hear, like with the sickle cell trait, is it's beneficial. But in what sense? Because it's beneficial because it allows that creature to survive and reproduce. Yes, but in a real-world sense, is it really beneficial? It's beneficial in the evolutionary sense to some degree. But you're looking at this as a single-step process, which is what I've seen a lot of evolutionists do, is you look at one step of the process and say, look, here it is, now we're done. But you don't look at the wider scope of what's going on around this one process. Like in one of my earlier videos I mentioned with the moths. All I heard about that was that they've developed the ability to eat bananas. It's evolution because bananas haven't been around for more than a couple hundred years. It turned out not to be 1,000, which was much more than a couple hundred years. And there are 2 recorded species that eat bananas, and they don't eat the fruit, they eat the banana leaves. This is the same species of moth that eats palm leaves, sugar cane, and coconut palm leaves. They eat leaves. This isn't a mutation at all. It's the ability to eat another type of leaf, which is not that big a deal. Another thing I talked about was Darwin's supposed finches, and people said, oh look, they're different species because they're different and they can't interbreed. Yes, they turned out to be different, but they could interbreed. Another mistake. And this one is another one, and what I'm trying to point out is that it is a mutation, yes. It can be naturally selected for, which I don't argue that natural selection occurs. What I'm saying is that just because it allows them to live longer and reproduce does not provide any real beneficiality for the population as a whole. Let me demonstrate. They survive malaria. Now what? That's my point. Yes, and it causes more problems than it solves. I've had people say that, yes, it does have small amounts of problems. But these are only in places where it's recorded, because we can get a hold of these people, like in cities or small villages where doctors are there to record what's going on. And the causes of a lot of these heat strokes, hyperthermia, heat illness, complication of exercise, things like that, are caused by heat and strenuous activity. And the places where malaria is most prevalent, there's a lot of heat and a lot of strenuous activity done. So these people will die off relatively quickly. This evolution would predict this. But that doesn't say anything for how we got here, which is the claim I overall am attacking, is saying that evolution is attempting to explain how we evolved from bacteria to people. But if mutations like this are used to cite as beneficial, we all would have died off well within the first 1,000 generations or so, because a mutation would have come along that it would have been barely beneficial, but ridiculously unprofitable to the species as a whole. We would have croaked off, and life itself would have been extinguished. What I'm asking for when I say beneficial mutation is a mutation, even if it's a small one, that provides an advantage that's long-lasting and can have multiple steps that occur after it that can cause increase in information. When a creationist or a skeptic of evolution asks for a mutation that increases information, we're not asking for a small amount of information, like a duplication and then a change. We're asking for something on a grander scale, and it doesn't have to happen all at once. That's not what I'm saying. If I sat here and demanded that every single evolutionary step was mapped out 100% with 100% accuracy, and that all these giant steps could be 100% proven, then no one would get anywhere. But I'm asking for some substantial evidence, ladies and gentlemen, and I haven't been getting any. All I ask, and I'll say this again for the 1,000th time, is that you give me something that is small but beneficial, or even big but beneficial, and it has minimal to no negative side effects to it, that will be able to compile with other mutations down the line that can cause something new, novel, beneficial, and can create a radically new species. Not, oh, this lizard and this lizard can't mate anymore, but they're identical. They eat the same thing. They live in the same place. They enjoy the same climate. They have the same body temperature. The same size, same physical structure, but they can't breed anymore. What did you do to advance? What did evolution do to advance the species? And my answer is nothing. So, if you guys could kindly, since all of you seem to be enjoying my video so much and watching it, and there's so many of you who believe in evolutionary theory and do all this research, do me a favor and send me some websites. I would absolutely love to hear the arguments that have persuaded you that evolution is a fact. It would make me so happy there aren't words. So please, in all honesty, from a skeptic to someone who obviously knows more than I do, send me what you have, and I will look it over and tell you what I think. Peace, and God bless.